The new Star Wars teaser straight from D23 is finally out, and the thing everyone is talking about is Dark Rey.
Shut up and take my money!
So in this quick video, we're gonna dish out everything we know about Dark Side Rey. Well, I hate to burst your bubble, but the biggest theory out there is that this is just a Force vision, similar to how Luke saw himself as Vader while training on Dagobah under Master Yoda. But the trailer here is really trying to get us to believe that Rey will turn to the dark side, with Vader's breathing and Emperor Palpatine's voiceover saying her journey is finally coming to an end. As Luke says in the first teaser,
"No one's ever really gone."
Don't worry, Luke. No one's ever really gone.
But let's take a broader look at this theory. Star Wars has always been about good versus evil, and from the clips we've seen so far, there is no other indication that Rey is even remotely considering the dark side. She's either journeying with Poe and Finn, fighting Kylo, who I think we can all agree is still a villain, or take a look at this image of her crying with Leia. It's going to be a very difficult sell to have her go from this to this and have it be believable. Going back to the initial teaser released in April, we get this image of the gang outside a ruined Death Star. It's entirely possible that this Dark Rey scene could take place within these ruins, along with her battle with Kylo. Speaking of Kylo, Redditor Jedi Paxis theorizes that this is a Kylo Ren vision given to him by a new character called the Oracle, who is described as an alien parasite that sits on the head of a giant sleeping baby. Adding to this theory is the impact of Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi, which caused major fan backlash for its use of subverting expectations. With J.J. Abrams back in the helm, it's very likely the franchise won't be taking any major risks with its characters. Rather, it will follow the traditional good versus evil approach the original trilogy did. So having Rey turn dark wouldn't fit into the narrative, considering she's been built up as a good character for the last two movies. It would kind of be like if Luke turned dark in Return of the Jedi. Going back to JJ, whose Force Awakens was criticized for following the same story structure of A New Hope, the second theory is that Rey is pretending to join the dark side, much like how Luke came to Vader in Return of the Jedi, donning his Black Sith outfit. Rey pretending to go dark may be what she needs to do in order to gain access to Palpatine or some other person or thing. Finally, we have the darkest timeline. Rey actually goes dark. I previously mentioned that having her go to the dark side too quickly could result in some problems, kind of like how Daenerys going too dark in Game of Thrones. Well, let's not get into that. There's one key piece of information about Rey's past we still need clarity on: her real parents.
They're filthy junk traders. Sold you off for drinking money.
The final theory is a bit of a doozy, so hang tight. In the Darth Vader comic, volume 25, we learn that Palpatine was able to manipulate the midichlorians inside Shmi Skywalker, and thus was able to make life within her. That would make Palpatine Anakin's father, a skill he likely learned from Darth Plagueis, who was obsessed with immortality. If Palpatine is somehow Rey's father, having manipulated a woman's midichlorians, it would technically make her a brother to Vader, or at least a half-brother since Shmi was killed in Attack of the Clones. But how this revelation would turn her full dark side is still yet to be known. Let's not also forget that the original beginning of The Force Awakens was supposed to start with Luke's severed hand floating in space gripping his lightsaber, but it was later cut from the edit. One theory is that this hand was picked up and used to create clones of the quote-unquote chosen one.
You were the chosen one!
Is there any relation to that and to Rey? Then there's some more info we can glean from the images of Dark Rey herself. Notice the dual red sabers similar to those used by the Temple Guards in the Clone Wars. The sabers themselves are very unstable, similar to that of Kylo Ren's, suggesting a cracked kyber crystal. We know in The Last Jedi Luke's saber was cracked in half, so in Rise of the Skywalker we'll likely have Rey reconstructing this crystal into a new dual blade. This is why we see her training earlier in the trailer with the blue saber and a stick, likely because the other half hasn't been constructed yet. The theory goes that Kylo would see Rey with a red dual saber, but in reality she'll have a dual blue saber. We also get a quick glance of a ring on Rey's left hand, leading some to believe this is Snoke's ring and she could be under some sort of Sith possession, meaning Kylo might have to save her by cutting off her hand, just like how Vader cut off Luke's hand. Of course, this is all speculation, and with the December release getting closer and closer, new theories will emerge. I hope you liked this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and you can also follow me on Twitter at ThinkStoryYT. Until next time, remember, Daddy loves you very much.